Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. We have an update on a guest that we interviewed a few months ago. I'm delighted to welcome back Ruby Powers of the Powers Law Group. And Ruby's an immigration attorney. And when we last talked with her, she said she was thinking about running for office, and now she's made a decision.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Linda. Well, I made an announcement recently, and I've announced that I'm running for State Rep District 134, which is in Houston, and for 2020. So I'm really excited. I'm just kicking out on the campaign trail, having a kickoff, and just doing a lot of different things, and getting out there and listening to my future constituents, and just really excited about what this future may bring.
What made you decide to pull the trigger and run?
Oh, the short answer, one of the big pieces was testifying against SB 4 in 2017. And
tell our audience what SB 4
is. And that's the anti-immigration bill that was passed and sponsored by the incumbent that I'll be running against and in this district. And just basically realizing that I wanted to have a bigger voice in legislation regarding education, immigration, infrastructure, just the future of Texas. I've had a business in the district for more than 10 years. I've been practicing 11 years. My kids are in public school. You know, I've been an advocate on different levels, but then now I want to make a difference on a greater scale.
The last time you were here, we talked quite a bit about the immigration situation that's happening in the country right now. A lot's happened since then. So we were just talking a moment ago before we started rolling that we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the detentions that began to happen at the border. Where do things stand now? What are you seeing?
Well, right, the 1-year anniversary of family separation at the border, which has been horrific, and like we mentioned, I volunteered down at the border and in Mexico as well. You know, still reports are coming out that children are still being separated, but on a smaller scale. And unfortunately, we've also heard of at least 6 deaths of children in detention facility. Prior to December 2018, there hadn't been a death of a child in custody for a whole decade, and now there's been 6, and probably that we know of, and that's unfortunate. All of it is unfortunate. There's just been a lot of changes in immigration in general with different policies, just sort of scaring immigrants from even legal immigration. In some good news, there was some movement recently about a DREAM Act on the House side in DC, so I'm really hopeful for that. But in general, it's, you know, I'm constantly reviewing on my law firm's weekly Facebook page. We do a Facebook Live and just going over the immigration news because it changes all the time.
It changes all the time. So you're obviously keeping very busy, not only with your active practice in immigration law, but now running for office, and you have a book coming out. So
yeah, sometimes I forgot about that.
When do you sleep, my friend? So tell us about the book.
So my book is coming out with, it's being published by the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and it's called Manage and Build. No, sorry. Build. I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting used to it. Build and manage your successful immigration law practice without losing your mind.
Without losing your mind.
Right. So, you know, it's practical, it's real, it's my 10 plus years of law firm management, being a child of an entrepreneur, grandparents were entrepreneurs. And basically the goal of that book is really to help the immigration practitioner be able to practice law and take a lot of the guessing out of running a law firm, especially in this day and age when we need to just hit the ground and represent our clients and take a lot of that headache out of running a law firm and a business, which, as we know, as small business owners, is really difficult.
It's very difficult to do. So, well, Ruby, thank you so much for taking the time to come back and update our audience on everything that you're doing, and we will continue to keep you updated on her progress, and thanks, and good luck.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Ruby. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for giving our guest permission to speak and for having the courage to listen with an open mind. If the mission of Our Voices Matter resonates with you, please like, subscribe, download, and share. and then join the conversation, because it really is going to take all of us to make a difference.